Internet! Hello and welcome to Coy Cubed. We are here today a little earlier, and this episode is going to be a little shorter, even though we've got a fair amount to cover, because I am leaving immediately after this to go see Eternals. I have a screening of Eternals at 6:30, so I will be booking it out of here a little early, just before 6, but it was Fandome week. It was lots of new footage for DC stuff week because of Fandome. It was a big week for MCU schedule restructuring. We've also got some first opinions on Eternals, which I'm about to go experience. We've got lots and lots to discuss, so I'm going to dive right in, but I got to kick it off with the great Joe O'Keefe, who already got a Streamlab in even before the show started, so I got to give that some love. Joe sends in, I watched Venom over the weekend. I found it fun without being out of this world, but holy beep, that post-credit scene. One, love that you liked it. I don't think everything needs to be out of this world. I had so much fun with it. I saw it 3 times in a week. Really dig that you dug it. And yes, that post-credit scene is the thing to talk about in the broad sense of things. I actually will be spoiler-free discussing that post-credit scene in this episode. I've decided that anything spoilery needs to be behind a different show because a lot of people aren't making it out to movie theaters. They don't feel safe. So with box offices being adjusted, my reviews are adjusted. So I've still kept that post-credit scene close to the vest out of respect to people that don't feel safe in the theater. But we do have a quote with Kevin Feige, who is the king of saying nothing and everything at once, so he obviously doesn't spoil it. But yeah, that post-credit scene was absolutely insane, and I really enjoyed Venom, so I'm glad you liked it. All right, let's get into the news while we have time. Also, as you can see, Spidey Cat is co-hosting today for the next 9 minutes until his food arrives in his auto feeder and he books it off to go eat. All right, let's kick it off with DC Fandome. If you guys didn't see, I covered DC Fandome with The Real Rejects. If you want to check out my thoughts, my deeper thoughts on each and every bit of DC Fandome, you can head over there. We talked the Batman, we talked Shazam, we talked the Flash, all those things I'm going to dive into right now, but for much longer, about 12 to 15 minutes each. And we did live reactions to experiencing them. So I had not yet seen the Batman trailer. We recorded our reactions live. I know that's a very common thing on YouTube. I just don't usually do reaction videos, so it still feels very alien to me. But there's a reaction video for me with the Batman, with the Shazam 2, with these things. So head over to The Real Rejects to check those out. But in the meantime, just want to give you guys some brief thoughts in case you want to stick to my channel, which I appreciate you being here. Also, we crossed 9K on my channel, so I appreciate this being over 9,000. That means the world to me. I want to get this page to 10K by the end of the year. That is the goal, is to hit that sweet, sweet 10K. But in the meantime, the Batman. That trailer was already very highly anticipated. That trailer already had a lot to live up to, as the first trailer broke hella records at last year's Fandome and came out of nowhere. I am one of the people that will proudly, even back to Collider Heroes days, say that I've been saying Robert Pattinson was going to be peak Batman. I've been saying since he was rumored, before he was even announced, that this would be our definitive take on a detective, brutal, R-rated, potentially, Batman. Now we got footage. That first trailer, you can make, a 3-hour movie into a great 2.5, 3-minute trailer, but to the second trailer, now you're starting to get in a little bit more. It's hard to hide some stuff. Trailers can always be amazing, but the more footage you get out, the more flaws show. In my opinion, the second trailer was even better than the first. We got a lot more Catwoman. As you guys know, I am a giant fan of Zoe Kravitz. I love her. And Catwoman is one of my favorite characters in the world, of all time. So my impossible crush on Zoe Kravitz meets my impossible crush on Catwoman. And now here we are, where I'm struggling to even maintain composure. But this was a very Catwoman-heavy trailer. Thank you guys for the Super Chats and Streamlabs. I'm going to jump on those after the Batman. That means the world. Thank you. Basically, the trailer gave us no Riddler, except for a little tease at the top. A little bit more Penguin, including hearing his voice for the first time, which sounds incredible. Colin Farrell's crushing it. And a lot more Catwoman. I love that it was largely new footage, but it was not story revelatory. We still don't know a lot of what's going on. This is a mystery movie. This is a detective story. I don't want to know too much. It also gave us basically extended scenes of the same scenes we'd already seen. So basically we saw a little bit more of the chase. We saw a little bit more of a couple sequences, and we got a little bit more of these moments, and we got Batman's voice. The day before Fandome, they teased Batman's voice with 10 seconds of talking about the bat signal in an all-new way. The bat signal isn't a call, it's a warning. All of these little details add up to what I think is one of the best trailers of all time. I'm very obsessed with it. I've watched it way too many times. You guys know I film on my phone. I changed my lock screen to Batcat. I'm just so enamored by this trailer. This is probably the most anticipated movie I have been covering since I started doing internet superhero journalism, whatever you want to call it. Since I started doing this job, this is my number one draft pick of holy fuck, I cannot wait. So that trailer blew me away, and the expectations couldn't have been higher. I'm very excited about it. Now, what I did like is not only did they save it to the end, but now we're starting to see how much Robert Pattinson has been invested. There were rumors for a really long time that he didn't work out, him and Matt Reeves didn't get along, all this bullshit. A lot of that I think is Robert Pattinson trolling, but I also think it's people hungry for details that don't necessarily exist. In these interviews, he talks about reading Tom King comics. In these interviews, he talks about how he finally started liking working out. In these interviews, he's revealing that he's enamored with this character. I think this is going to be the definitive Batman. I love so much about each of our Batmans. Michael Keaton is going to be incredible in the Flash movie, which we're going to talk about in a second. Christian Bale, for my money, is my favorite so far because we got the most time with him, as well as being exceptional. I wanted to see a Ben Affleck solo movie. I love Ben Affleck's take on Batman. We didn't get to see enough for me to really judge. What we got was incredible. But for me, right now, Bale is the bar. I think Pattinson might top that. We will see. It's also not a competition because it's an archetypal character, so you get a lot of options with how they get played. I like a nice detective Batman. This seems like that's what we're going to get. I love the minimalist tech. I love the suit. I love the cinematography in this film. I love the upside-down bat shot. I love the colors used. I love how it feels like a comic book. There's moments of Clay Mann. There's moments of Tim Sale. There's moments of David Finch. The whole thing feels like David Fincher. Check out my stuff with The Real Rejects for my more in-depth, but this trailer absolutely blew me away, and I hope you guys enjoyed it even a tenth as much as I did, because it was kind of life-changing, and if you can have a tenth of a life change at any point, hell yeah, that's a good day, right? So the fact that I got a full life change, actively can't stop thinking about it. March cannot come soon enough. I'm in no rush to die, and I know March is sooner to my death just by how time works in a linear way, but I am ready for March, and I am ready for this goodness to happen already. All right, we've got Dan V900. I luckily haven't read any spoilers, but what the Variety writers did was shameful. I do think that Variety needs to be banned from future early Disney screenings. What a breach of trust for clicks. You know what I've avoided all day? Twitter. The struggle is real. The great Edward Haskell shared this very show, and I just hit retweet because I'm trying not to touch my Twitter. It is real bullshit. Dunkin' Donuts is getting rid of the Dunkaccino, which is my favorite drink in the world. I made a video, I shared that, didn't click shit. I'm avoiding everything. And that's not fair, guys. Like, I need to do my job, which is the internet. And I personally am going to see it tonight, but the average person won't be able to see it for another 2 weeks. That is unbelievably uncool. You guys saw my rant, probably. I'm pissed. It's bullshit. I agree. There should be repercussions to what they did, because it is truly unacceptable. So fuck all of that. And yeah, shame on them, and I hope there are repercussions that allow maybe lawsuits and also at minimum exclusions from future events, but that is hugely a betrayal of trust. And also, as such, I'm going to be very cautious in the chat because some people are assholes. I don't assume any of the people that are in the koi pond are, but maybe people just typing in, buzzwords and jumping in chats. I know you guys are great, but just be careful on the internet. Careful on these streets for a little while. Shatman TV says, Eternals is going to be amazing. I enjoy seeing movies about God's coexistence with mortals. Reminds me a lot of the Percy Jackson books I used to read. Yeah, man, I'm really intrigued by Immortals Walking Among Us. I always like that in my superhero stuff when it's handled well. I love the idea of the scope of this. I'm a huge Celestials fan. I'm very excited to see it come to life. I'm very excited to see all of this turn into a broader and broader universe. So I'm with you 100% there, Shatman TV. Seeing it today, but I'm not Variety. So you're not going to know any fucking spoiler from me. All you're going to know is my very broad thoughts. All you're going to know is my honest opinion. All you're going to know is what I thought I'd want to hear before I saw it. So it is a real shame that we are losing the credibility of things like Variety, because it's tricky that we're all lobbying for clicks. We've not had a way to monetize the internet in a way that's healthy. We've not had a way to make the internet safe because everything is click-based. So people will literally sacrifice the enjoyment of their very readers for clicks, which is a very, very fucking shame. We literally can't have nice things without modifying what the internet's become. Whether that's the fall of democracy, whether that's the fall of capitalism, which would be a benefit, versus the fall of democracy, whether or not that's unionizing new media, whether or not that's finding a way to make this actually manageable, whether or not that's adjusting what pay goes to what. It's all a fucking knot. But at the end of the day, this is a huge thing where hopefully Disney looks at this and goes like, hey, that's a major publication. They're willing to sacrifice our trust for clicks. There's a problem there. And I don't think the answer is taking freedom away from us, the people that haven't wronged things, but I do think the answer is figuring out a different way to monetize the internet and having aggressive penalties towards assholes that ruin very important things that people work their months and years and lives to make. Do I hear the real rejects are in the chat? Oh shit. The real rejects are in the chat. Guys, I gotta say, I've been working on the internet a long time. And I've worked for a number of networks. And I don't think there is a single network, and I'm going to consider the Real Rejects networks, they have built a fucking empire from loving shit that I like working for more. And I've worked for most of the internet. And I will say, on the record, and I love you, rest of the internet, most of you, the Real Rejects are the shit. Love those guys. And thanks for being here, gents. You're a big part of this channel growing, and I appreciate the fuck out of it. And I don't give coilers, not until my coiler review. I do a non-coiler all the way up until very clear coilers are established. Coiler reviews are very clear. Real Rejects, what up? It's good to see you. All right, let's get to the next news story. Also covered by myself teaming up with the Real Rejects. We saw the Flash trailer. I would say next to the Batman, that Flash trailer was the thing that really stole the entire Fandome experience. The Flash movie had so many things we wanted to see from a Batman 3 from the Tim Burton era. It had so many things we want to see from a live-action Batman Beyond, which, hey, maybe we can get. It had so many things that give you ideas of where the DC universe can go. It's expanding so rapidly. This can create new continuity. It can clean up continuity. It can disavow all continuity. We got 2 Ezra Miller Flashes in the trailer, one of which is wearing the motherfucking Michael Keaton batsuit spray-painted red with the yellow Flash on it. This has so many things that really allow this mind-blowing expansion of DC in a fucking minute while giving us not too much story, while giving us lots of feelings and nostalgia and yearning. It's got a cowl in it that might be Batflex. It does all of that in a minute while not giving too much away. The movie didn't wrap till today, and they gave us that and not too much. That's how you make a teaser. That's how you make a story. That's how you make an event out of a minute, and you don't sacrifice the fans. You don't sacrifice the integrity of the property. Andy Muschietti signed on to The Flash after like 5 people had left. This is a movie I never thought would see the light of day. It wrapped today. Now I believe it's done. Now that it's wrapped, I'm like, we might actually see it. And between that and the footage, guys, I'm excited for the first time. This is the first time I've been really gung-ho for a Flash movie. I've been casually like, ooh, Flashpoint would be cool. That footage, all in, very excited. We will see. Time will tell. If you haven't seen the teaser yet, I can tell you from one coiler-free viewer to another, it is time to check out the Flash movie. And I'm very, very fucking in. Joe Keefe in the chat. Hi, Koi Pond. Been a while. How are things? Hadn't been around these parts for a hot minute, but was completing my masters, which I'm happy to say I got first in. Joe O'Keefe, you scallywag, you rapscallion, you goddamn genius son of a bitch. Congratulations. I'm fucking stoked for you, man. Dude, you got your masters. That's a good reason to be away from the internet and here. Like, if you're going to be gone getting your masters. Number one masters. Joe Keefe, congratulations, man. I'm very stoked for you, dude. That is very fucking cool. Kylie says, new patron Kylie just joined the Koi Pond on the Patreon side. Thank you very much, Kylie. Very stoked to have you. Kylie says that Black Adam is my #1 anticipated DC movie next year now, and I don't have a good day. Have a great day. We will have a great day. Everyone in the Koi Pond, I extend that to you. Have a great day, and that is from myself and Kylie. Much appreciated. You know the next movie we're going to talk about? We are going to talk about Black Adam, both in your honor and in all of our honor of the excitement of that chaos. The Black Adam insanity is coming. This looks like it could be R-rated. This looks like a really dark Indiana Jones. This looks like they're able to use a lot of set pieces from Shazam in new and exciting ways. This looks like it allows for all of us to get to have a different take that feels like it could be just a rock movie, but it also could be something else entirely. We haven't heard him speak yet. He looks massive and insane. He looks absolutely intimidating as fuck, which he should. This guy's gonna be fighting kids, but also he's gotta be terrifying. He's Black Adam. And again, it didn't give too much away. They just wrapped this beast. And it's got all new technology for some of the slow-mo. It's got brand new techniques for some of the stunts. This thing is gonna genre redefine, because you look at how well these rock movies do, and you look at how well these superhero movies do. This is gonna be another animal entirely. There's a lot riding on Black Adam. I feel like Shazam 2 and Black Adam are gonna really restructure that big quarter of the DC universe. And if they do as well as I think they're going to do, I think DC is going to be leaning into the magical mystical a bit more afterward. I do think Shazam 3 is going to be Black Adam 2. I do think there's going to be quite a bit of really cool stuff coming out of the mystical magical world, but this first tease shows us how dark that can be. And I do think they can still walk that PG-13 line, but we do have the first looks at a true anti-hero here, which brings me right over to Shazam 2. Interesting thing about Shazam 2, again, covered it 3 Rejects, check it out for the longer review. We did about 12 minutes on Shazam 2 and Black Adam separately. But Shazam 2 really allows for us to see kid stars grow up in a different medium. We see it through Stranger Things, we see it through all of these long-form TV shows, but this is the kids we experienced 3 years ago. Puberty's a hell of a thing. Happens at you hard. These are going to be very different kids going into this. Asher Angel, Jack Dylan Grazer, these are going to be different people. And one of them, our Mary Marvel, has grown into being her own superhero self. There's not 2 actors playing Mary Marvel. It's just one playing both versions of the hero, which is very exciting to see this maturation of characters. And as such, the movie looks like it's more of a sword and sandals pick. It looks more like those classic claymation, like Attack the monster and squid movies, because it looks like we're going to be globe-trotting with these insane monsters instead of the Foster family. Now, I'm torn there, because one of the things I really love about the first Shazam is the Foster family. One of the things I really love is that Amblin tone. I'm a big sucker for family, whether that's blood or adoption or any kind of family friendships. Like, family means the world to me. It's why I love Fast and the Furious, amongst other things. But it is really interesting to see all of this evolve. So Shazam was probably the biggest surprise as far as footage. I was like, this is not what I expected Shazam 2 to be. Whether that's good or bad, we will see. But in that footage, we got Lucy Liu, we got Helen Mirren, we got lots and lots of settings, we got monsters, and the costumes look absolutely staggering. Lots of love to the Shazam 2 costumes. They look bananas. They were one of the scene stealers of the entire DC fandom experience. Very excited to see that come into play. Very excited to see Helen and Lucy Liu in their respective awesomeness. And that is going to be except one more. We're going to talk about one more, because a lot of the other stuff I enjoyed, but I wanted to give my top 5. It was a full day event. Can't cover the whole thing. Got a lot to talk about today, and I got to get out of here and go see Eternals. But also do want to talk about Aquaman 2. Aquaman 2 looks big. They kept stressing how big it is. The first movie made $1 billion, which made me feel like this one's going to get a lot bigger budget. And the first one was no small budget. The first one was fucking huge. And it looks like they're just saying, like, James Wan, hey, you proved you can make $1 billion movie. Go nuts. And I think that's a really fun opportunity for Jason Momoa. I think that's a really fun opportunity for my guy, Yahya Abdul-Mateen II. I think it's a really fun opportunity for DC to have a mystical, magical corner, to have a more fun, Silver Age, wonky, operatic insanity of Aquaman proportions corner, to have a really dark, the Batman Gotham corner. We've got all these different opportunities, and I really think that footage, even though there was no actual footage, it was all behind the scenes, showed us a lot. They just started filming. It was Jason Momoa's first day in the footage. It's only just begun, but it sounds fucking huge. So I'm excited. That comes out next Christmas. That's out fucking soon. The turnaround on that is bananas. They were saying how it's been 4 years already, but it is going to be interesting to see how that rolls along. Now, before I leave the world of DC fandom, we got a couple more Super Chat Streamlabs. Again, I sometimes have time for the live chat, but it's going to be tricky today with me having to leave, so I'm going to focus on the Super Chats and Streamlabs. That's the best way to get me. DanV900 with another one saying the new Batman trailer was great, but I like the first one more. You know, I've heard that from a couple people. You're not alone there. I disagree, but I respect that, and I know people agree with you. It looks incredible, and the cinematography looks fantastic. It's the same DP as Dune. Well, you know I am overjoyed to dive into Dune. You know I cannot wait for Dune, which I'm seeing very soon. As soon as I can talk about it, I'll let you know what I think. I'm seeing it potentially as soon as this week, perhaps he knows when. But as soon as I can talk about it, I don't know when the embargo's up, but I'll be talking about Dune. I know that is the movie that is getting its first rumblings of reviews, but we are going to be getting Dune. Actually, hold on. Wait a second. I see how it is. All right, in the chat, we've got I see how it is. I don't know. Hey, Real Rejects, let me know about the embargo and what I can say about it, and I'll say it, because I want my people to find you guys. It's very important to me that my people find the Real Rejects channel. So you let me know what's allowed, and I'll spread the word. I just don't want to get you or me in trouble, so I was playing coy. But yes, the same DP as Dune, making some goodness. I think the Batman is going to be as big as The Dark Knight, and it's going to be absolutely incredible to see everything shift. And the Real Rejects also said, we appreciate the fuck out of you, dude. Your knowledge is unparalleled, and we're lucky to have you. Coilers or no. Again, best team to work with. Always gonna be there for the Real Rejects as much as I can, because they're the fucking shit. Follow them. They're at 905,000 subscribers. Let's hit them the last 95. They are less than 9% away from having a million followers. Let's get them to 1 million. I want to get my page to 10K. I kind of want to get them to 1 million more, which makes me a bad businessman. Might make me a good person, but it makes me a bad businessman. Let's get me to 10K casually. Let's get them to 1 million fucking yesterday. Let's get them over there. 95K to go. Get after it. Call your mom, call your dog walker, call your grandpa's uncle's best friend, tell the guy in the street asking you, how you doing? You say, I'm doing good, weather's nice, follow the Real Rejects. Like that, in that order. Make it weird. It might work. They'll remember. Okay. I'm watching it with the Real Rejects, so I'll have a review over there. I don't know if I'm allowed to say. But check out our first reaction of that very, very soon. Let's get it. Okay, next up in the news today, The Flash has wrapped filming. Black Adam has wrapped filming. Aquaman 2 has started filming. Why the Last Man, unfortunately, has been canceled. Lots of stuff has happened this week. Why the Last Man might find life on HBO Max. That's not really a story yet, but I'll report on it more as the story develops. But as of now, as of press, Why the Last Man has met its unfortunate end. As you guys know, if you can see in the distance there, that white book section underneath Saga, we've got Saga Volume 1 through 3 hardcover, and this is Why the Last Man, Volume 1 through 5 softcover. I'm a big old Why the Last Man fan. I'm bummed. I'm not caught up in the show. I might be part of the problem. But I am going to say that I hope it finds a life on HBO Max, because I'm a huge fan of the source material, and I also think there needs to be more Brian K. Vaughan in the world. So anything that can bring us there is near and dear to my heart, especially since I love him so very much. And before we get to the MCU restructure, which is absolutely bananas, and I've got a lot of theories about, I do want to say that, and I have to tell them before I go see Eternals, because these are all theories, because I'm avoiding Eternals until I see it in its entirety in half an hour. And we're back. Maybe. We'll see. Yeah. What up, you lovelies? We are back adjacent. Okay, good news. What a great dramatic pause before shifting from DC to Marvel. The universe was like, hey, let's make sure they know what section of the comic book store they're in as purveyors of Koi Pond entertainment. All right, before I move into the Marvel mix-up of release date chaos, I do want to give these chats real quick and say the Real Rejects are trying to get me to 20K before they get to 1 million, which is very, very sweet. We're going to get there, y'all. We're going to get me some followers so I can attend premieres on my own terms. That's my goal. Mike K, if anyone wants a great Black Adam story to read before the movie, I would recommend the DC Weekly Series 52, written by a supergroup of writers. So Mike K gives the recommendation for Black Adam to check out the DC Weekly Series 52, written by a whole supergroup. I actually haven't read that yet, so I will check that out myself, Mike K. And then Ishmael Montoya with an awesome fucking name. Ishmael. That's a cool name, man. It's Ismael. I hope I'm saying that right. Hey, Coy, my first super chat. I really appreciate your knowledge. Did you see that Variety writer who spoiled the Eternals? I have not. I've avoided the fucking internet today. Do you know how hard it is for me with my job to avoid the internet? Fuck that writer of Variety. I hear it's 2 or 3 of them. I don't know their names. I don't want to know their names because I will be more personally upset. And I don't want to make it personal, but fuck them and everything they're about. Fuck clickbait journalism. Fuck ruining people's experience. Fuck fucking up surprises. Fuck spoilers for profit. Fuck them. but I love you, and I don't know the article, and I haven't been spoiled yet, and I refuse to be, and I'm gonna literally... That's one of the reasons I can't read the chat, because I'm afraid some cunt nugget's gonna come in here and fucking spoil shit because they saw a hashtag and just be like... Anyway, I don't know the spoiler. I'm seeing it at 6:30. I'm very excited about it. And thank you very much for appreciating my knowledge. My co-host has returned. Jesus Gastelum with the super chat. What are your thoughts on Gotham Knights and Suicide Squad kills the Justice League? So, tricky enough, I am not a big video game guy. I got a PS4 basically just for the Spider-Man game. I haven't played the Miles Morales game yet, but I'd really like to. I played the fuck out of games when I was younger. I have not, unfortunately, had the time with the amount of comics I read, with the amount of work I do, with the amount of books I read. But I do know the story in the Gotham Knights thing has me very, very intrigued because I'm a big Court of Owls fan. I think Scott Snyder's Court of Owls is very essential to modern Batman lore. I think it's a great year 2 story. I think it shows how much the character of Gotham is important to Batman. He's as big Gotham as a he. Gotham is as big as most of the supporting cast. Like, it's like the Bat family, Alfred included, some of the villains, and then Gotham, and then the rest of the villains, and then, like, Commissioner Gordon. Like, there's so much importance for Gotham as a city, and I think that character is represented really well in the Court of Owls with the nefarious paranoia. So if I had time to play a game, I'd play the fuck out of it. Hopefully I have time one day. If I find a network to house me, where I've got more income than me being like, Super Chat, Patreon, I'm gonna figure it out. If I had the comfort of a little bit of time, like, I mean, if Greg's still in here, Greg, John, and I all work, I don't know, 18, 20-hour days. If you look at my Fitbit, I average 4 to 6 hours of sleep a night, and it's never consistent, which isn't healthy. Like, I'm gonna die at like 50. My heart's gonna give out. So if I find a place where I'm like financially stable and still doing what I love, I'm gonna play the fuck out of some games, son. But until then, so John is aware of a lack of sleep we all get. Like, basically, think about what we have to do is, like, I have to read every single comic to give the information and knowledge, and I have to read it attentively enough to have it stay. I also have to watch all these movies. So say a movie's 2 hours, I'm probably doing an hour or two of research on top of that minimum. So we're talking each movie's a 4-hour experience. Every comic book is 15 to 25 minutes. I read between 40 and 60 comics a week. That right there, 3 movies, 40 to 60 comics a week, that's about 150 hours. Then all the time I put into prepping these shows, compiling information, then all the time I put in doing all my Patreon responsibilities, then I do 6 hours of podcasting every 2 weeks, then I try to go to these events. Like, the amount of work I do probably equates to about a 200-hour work week. And I haven't worked out in like 8 weeks because of it. That's why I'm so skinny. Because I'm really trying to up my social game. I'm trying to get my YouTube up. I'm trying to get my TikTok up. I'm trying to get my Instagram up. Trying to get my Twitter up. So I can actually cover these things in a more professional way without a network. But if I had a network, which I'm hoping for, I will be gaming and I will be loving it. And that was a long answer to your question. But Court of Owls is dope. Game looks awesome. I'm excited for multi-tiered gameplay, like distant approach with some characters, more brutal approach with like Red Hood, more speedy approach with Tim Drake, stuff like that. I think it's going to be dope. And the Suicide Squad Kills the Justice League is a really fun option for them to tell stories they couldn't tell in comics, and really good options for us to expand the world. So, John's in here saying he lost his Fitbit. Already sad, but also, man, I haven't touched my guitar in ages. You guys know John looks like the man embodies a man that should play guitar as often as possible. So if John's not playing guitar, I'm not going to the gym. We're clearly overworking because we haven't had the time to breathe. But that's the situation with me playing games. But footage-wise, stoked. Both looked gorgeous. Both looked better than I could have imagined for a superhero game, and both have me very, very excited. All right, you lovelies. Getting back to release date shuffle. We had a giant cataclysmic shift, the likes of which we haven't really seen yet since the beginning of the pandemic with Marvel. And Marvel is a studio that plans 10 movies ahead. They've got releases that we don't even know about yet carved out. They've got dates up until like 2029 in secret, but they've got ones announced through 2024. These guys are structured. So when one thing moves, it's a domino effect. So Doctor Strange moved, and Thor moved, which caused Black Panther to move, which caused the Marvels to move, which caused Ant-Man to move. All of this is crazy. Let me break it down. Doctor Strange has moved from March 25th of next year to May 6th of next year. That is not a giant move, but it gives them another like 7-8 weeks. But what that does is, and this is my theory, I think something happens in Eternals, and I don't know, I haven't seen it yet, that in another screening maybe did better that ties into Doctor Strange, that maybe they want to augment in Doctor Strange. Maybe they need to change a couple things in Doctor Strange to build a stronger foundation. We now live in a different time where it's not just like, ooh, this is a cool Easter egg we'll deal with later. Everyone's scrutinizing every frame, including myself. Everyone's looking at every comic connection. So I think if things do better or worse, they're adjusting in real time. So I think buying another 8 weeks for Doctor Strange might be a good thing. But because of that shift from spring to summer, you then have to shift Thor from early summer to late summer. So the release date of Doctor Strange was Thor's. Now Thor Love and Thunder has gone from May 6th to July 8th. So that is now a late summer release. That is now their big summer tentpole movie, which means Black Panther 2 moves from their summer tentpole movie into their winter movie. Now that is coming out November 11th, closer to its initial release date for the first one, which was a winter film. I think that's a great position for all these films. I think, honestly, that early summer Doctor Strange, late summer Thor, November Black Panther is a great move. I think it's good for all parties involved, and I think a little breathing room is going to be good. COVID restrictions are just adjusting. We're just getting vaccinations up enough to make these changes. We will see. We also had the actress that played Shuri apparently was hurt on the set. We've got a lot of things causing delays that I think breathing time is going to help. It sucks we're only getting 3 movies a year instead of 4. It sucks we don't have the opportunity to breathe a little and like let these release dates lie, but you're also juggling Disney Plus releases. You're adjusting Doctor Strange effectively being the end chapter of WandaVision, of Loki, of, I don't know about Eternals, but I assume stuff with Eternals. There's so much in Doctor Strange. I'm glad it's got as much time as it needs. Then Indiana Jones has moved a fucking year from July 29th to June 30th of the following year. So Marvel is moving a few weeks. Indy has moved a year to June 30th, 2023. The Marvels, which was going to be the winter push for Captain Marvel 2, it was going to be on November 11th, which Thor took, is now February of 2023. So the Marvels has moved to 2023. And finally, Ant-Man 3 Quantumania, which is what I'm theorizing perhaps we get some tie-ins to Loki Season 2, has moved from February to July. That is a big old 5-month hop. 5 months later for Ant-Man 3. What intrigues me is, what does this mean for Blade? Is that now a late 2023 release? Is that going to be restructured entirely? Can that move up? We didn't really have a release date locked for that. It's been mysterious. What does that mean for Fantastic Four? What does that mean for my precious X-Men? What does that mean for what I assume is Spider-Man No Way Home ending up in Spider-Man Trapped in No Way Home, stuck in the Sony universe, not the Marvel universe? What does it mean? Either way, Spider-Man's out in December. We've got Hawkeye in November. We're not lacking. So everyone that's complaining and thinking this is a sign of like doom for Marvel, I think they're overreacting. I do think more breathing time is good. Coffee and chocolate milk. All right, let me check on... Oh, and by the way, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 has started filming, and the Christmas special, as far as I know, has not been moved, and Guardians 3 has started filming, so we'll see how that adjusts. And let me check on... We already talked about the Eternals bullshit. I had written down Eternals bullshit in this part of the rundown, but also next to Eternals bullshit, I wrote Venom, which is tying into Spider-Man No Way Home in its own way, and is tied into the Sony universe, which I think Spider-Man's going to end up in, by the way. Kevin Feige on the Eternals red carpet had the following to say, quote, "There was a lot of coordination, and if you don't know all the coordination yet, I'm not going to be the one to tell you, but yes, between Sony and Marvel and the Venom team and the No Way Home team, we worked together on it." I love that he can say nothing and everything at once, and I will also not be revealing anything. I just know that I'm excited to hear collabing. I'm excited to hear participation. I'm excited to hear all those things, and we will see how that plays out with Spider-Man No Way Home and the greater Sony universe, if my theories are correct. But time will tell. We also found out on the Eternals red carpet that Atlanta Season 3 is wrapped. As a giant fan of Atlanta on FX, Childish Gambino, Donald Glover's show, the great Paperboy himself is, in fact, in the Eternals cast. So Paperboy was asked about Atlanta. He said it's in the can. It is wrapped. We also got a Cowboy Bebop teaser this week. I recommend you check it out. We also got the IATSE deal is not yet locked. It is very possible the IATSE deal is going to get opened back up. A lot of people I know personally and professionally are not happy with the deal, so it might not be... The strike might still happen, so don't count your eggs until they hatch. Let me check on the chat. Check out, like I said, that Cowboy Bebop teaser. It is pretty fucking dope. I'm excited for Atlanta Season 3. Talked about that. Let me give you guys some comic recommendations real quick. I'm a little behind on comics. I haven't read 1013's books yet, but tomorrow is 1020's book. So I'm 1 week behind. I had been 3 weeks behind, but I'm now just one. But from September 29th, I recommend Batman Superman 22, Batman Reptilian number 4, Berserker number 5, Crossover number 8, Darkhawk number 2, Department of Truth number 13 is my book of the week. The Resistance Uprising number 6, Superman number 78, number 2, that's Superman 78, the Christopher Reeve stuff, the second issue of that run. Something is Killing the Children number 20, and Thor number 17. Out of the 50 books I read, those are my top 10. And then from 10/6, not this last week, but the week before, the first week of October, my favorite books were Arkham City, The Order of the World, number 1, Batman 114, Captain Marvel 33, Dark Ages, number 2, Deadpool, Black and White and Blood, number 3, Firepower, number 16, Nice House on the Lake, number 5, Righteous Thirst Vengeance, number 1 is my book of the week alongside Nice House on the Lake, and Savage Avengers, number 25. I'm going as quick as I can because I'm going to go see the fucking Eternals, but I want you to have that information. If you want to go to your comic store, play this at half speed, tell your local comic book store you would like those books at half speed. They'll be able to understand me, hopefully. I got one more super chat that I'm going to check on the chat, and then I'm going to boogie on out of here. We got much love from Brooklyn, New York, from Jose Maya. I appreciate the hell out of you. I love Brooklyn so fucking much. I was just there 2 weeks ago. My sleep schedule is still not recovered. My fun was increased. My sleep decreased. I love Brooklyn and the pace of that city very, very, very fucking much. And John the Real Reject says, not the same, but I just grabbed a copy of that Marvel's comic on your recommendation. Dude, that means the world to me. Hell fucking yeah. Anytime people pick up books that I recommend, it means the world to me. When friends do, it means even more, because it's an honor that I'm helping these comics get some awareness. So be like John. Pick up some comics. Very important. And yes, Black Loki, Real Rejects are real cool dudes. All right, you lovelies. I am going to wrap out of here early so I can go see the Eternals. I appreciate all of you. We had Dan V900 in here. We had Black Loki in here. We had Colin Davis in here. We had Killshot 1, who I haven't seen in a little bit. Good to see you, Killshot. We had John from the Real Rejects. We had Darth Vaydad. I saw earlier, Michael McCarcel was here. We got Scott Welsh, another one of the OGs. We got Joel Rolston, a lot of the OGs in here. Shout out to Colin Davis and Scott Fitzgerald as well. I can't go all the way back to the top. Those are the ones in the last few seconds. Thank you for the super chats from everyone that sent them in, including Joe O'Keefe, Jesus, Ishmael, Mike K. I appreciate you guys all very, very much. Chapman TV, Joe O'Keefe kicked it all off and then had another one. Kylie, our newest patron, Dan V900. You guys are all the absolute tits, and I appreciate you all. All right, I'm gonna go see Eternals. I will let you guys know without spoilers, because I'm not a cunt, what I thought. I will give you the amount of information I would like to know going in. I will give you my honest opinion. I've heard the exact polarizing things. I know love and hate on this movie. This is probably the most divisive Marvel movie yet, so I will be honest in my coverage, and then I'll be talking about Dune this week as well. So keep an eye on some stuff. Get new subscribers for me. Share, like, comment. I'm going to post more TikToks, and I'm going to post them here as well. And at the end of the day, you guys are the reason I'm here. So I appreciate the fuck out of y'all. And yeah, shout out to Greg and John. If you guys don't follow the Real Rejects, what are you even doing? Let's get them to 1 million. All right. And oh yeah, Greg's brother Jobby, who's also awesome. I'm going to do his channel soon too. But my loyalty is with the Real Rejects. So follow them first. Get them to 1 million. Okay. Like, subscribe, comment. Spidey Cat. Eternals. See you soon. Bye, guys. This should have ended, but now you guys get a post-credit scene. And if you stayed, I'm going to see the Eternals now, but tomorrow I'm seeing Dune, which I hid very poorly. Expect a Dune review from me with the Real Rejects tomorrow. Expect an Eternals review from me, non-spoiler social, tonight, and then I'm covering that with Christian on The Big Thing. So keep an eye on The Big Thing. I'm also doing a bunch of stuff with Christian and Winston, Spider-Man watch-alongs, and Schmodown stuff. So thanks for being here for the post-credit scene. Credits. Kevin Feige. Spidey Cat. This stream won't end, which would be funny if I wasn't going to see a movie. Let's try this again. Bye, guys.